6.1 is already here, and we have one more patch to go, and then Columbina comes. And I have seen the cutscenes of the battle between Columbina and the antagonist, and she looks pretty cool. Her flying around and her element, which is, I believe, Hydro, and that is the reason why I wanted to do today's video, because it looks like Columbina is going to be a Hydro unit. Hoyoverse has not confirmed that just yet, but it's looking more like a Hydro unit. And as we all know, Hydro is the most powerful element in Genshin as of right now. And my favorite character, Furina, who I have her at C6 and R5, I feel like to add another Hydro Archon, because she is kind of acting like an Archon of this region, not Cry, and which is great because I know that Archons usually get the best treatment from Hoyoverse with their kit and also what they provide as a support unit, more so than a DPS. And it's kind of weird because Columbina she's known as a Harbinger, third position actually, and also an Archon. So I don't know, because Harbingers are usually DPS units like Arlecchino, also Wanderer, and who else? Who else do we have? Oh, Child. And they're more so like a DPS unit, not they don't provide any like a support unit. But Archons are the opposite, and Columbina being the both titles, she's a Harbinger and so-called Archon. I am very excited on how they're gonna create this character, like how her kid is gonna play. Now, um, I do want to do a comparison of her, Columbina, and Furina because they're both Hydra units and they're also sharing that same like Archon title. So but I'm gonna do a separate video for that because I feel like I want to go into details because, like I said before, Furina is my favorite character. So I think I have a lot more to say about, the comparison. But as of right now, I wanted to do a Hydro unit, especially the 5 stars. I'm gonna include Xingqiu in there because Xingqiu, he is a 4 star who is low key a 5 star, especially when you have his constellations. But by now, you guys should have him at C6 if you've been playing this game long enough. So I want to do a character arc. Well, go into a character archive and then see our Hydro characters that's been released so far, all the 5 star Hydro. I'm not going to look into the not 6 stars, 4 star Hydro unit, what we have so far, and kind of like, get an idea on like how can we make Hydro even better. And I am going to talk about Furinas a little bit, but of course I'm going to do a separate comparison for that. So, all right. So Hydro. We don't have that many. All right. Can I do? Oh no. So I can't really do any faster. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. So Mona is a standard 5 star Hydra unit. She's a catalyst user, and she provides the extra damage with her burst. And I believe that's about it. I don't play her as much. I know that she's not known for her Hydro application, which Hydro character needs to have in their kit to provide as much application as possible so you can have the reactions that goes with Hydro. And I feel like Mona lacks that, especially her skill. Like I said, her burst provide that extra damage to your DPS, and you just need to learn how to play this character. So Tartaglia, Child, also known as Child, he is a DPS, Hydra DPS that relies on reaction, and also he provides good damage as well. But I believe he goes really well with Shengli. Um, and he also has these 2 stands. And this character, I don't have him. And will I ever summon for him? No. if they give it to me for free, why not? But I'm not gonna go out of my way to summon for this character. But the character, I remember him getting a mixed reaction in general because I've started playing, I believe, before Inazuma for sure. Yeah, before Inazuma. So at that time, Child was known as like one of the best DPS, but you really needed to learn how to play this character because his two stands, with his skill, if you are not too careful, you kind of mess up your rotation with him. And like I said, he relies on Vaporize a lot with Shengling, and you just need to learn how to do his rotation correctly, and therefore you're going to be able to provide as much damage as possible. But Child, a DPS, and also an Harbinger. So there you go. Our first Harbinger. All right, Kokomi. Kokomi, she's known for her Hydro application through her skill, and also she heals. But her Hydro application is very stationary. So once you activate her skill with the jellyfish, you can't really move them. And it doesn't really follow the active character. So that's the only thing. But other than that, this character, I still play her because, like I said, I have Furina, and Furina needs a healer. Even though my Furina is at C6, and C6 Furina, you don't need a healer, but I like having that comfort play. And with the second Hydra unit in your team with Furina, it's always nice. And uh, also, she is a very pretty character to look at. I wish, oh my god, I don't know why they did the whole crit zero, like crit rate zero. But if it wasn't that, I think I would definitely invest in this character more so because I really like this character. I do. All right. So now we have Kamisato Ayato, Ayaka's big brother. I remember pulling for him because of him being just so cool, and that's about it. At that time, I wasn't really, in tune with the whole like elements and the reactions. I was just pulling characters because, their character design and also their gameplay. At the time, with his skill, I thought it was a very cool looking skill, but he also is a very stationary if you are relying on his damage output. But his elemental burst provides a really nice hydro application. And if you build this character correctly, I think, his hydro application is pretty noticeable. Like they're really, really good. I have noticed that as well. And there is a range, and it's bigger than some other characters. And I do like this character, but I don't really play with this character. And being the fact that he's a Hydro, he's still very relevant. And also you do kind of need a shield for him in order for him to provide that continuous damage with his skill. So Yelan. All right, so Yelan was my first C6 character, and I have done a video a long time ago about the whole reason why I pulled for her. It was mainly because of her skill. She had the most unique skill out there in Genshin when she first came out, and the mobility that it provided in the open world was, to me, was so amazing. I could just dash with her skill, and her C1 provides that additional skill so you can do it back to back. And I just couldn't stop pulling for this character's constellation after the C1. And at C6, she's an amazing character. And do you need her at C6? No. Is it nice to have her at C6? Yes. And she also provides the HP boost for your team through her skill once you unlock her C6. No, 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 6 6. It's C4. Yes, C4. And the maximum increase of 40%. That's a huge, you know, boost, especially for a character like Furina. When I pulled for this character, her constellation, I was not thinking about the Hydra Archon. I was just pulling for her because I really liked her gameplay. And this character, I do believe this character is still very relevant. I like how she plays, and her burst provides the one of the best Hydra application. same thing as Xingqiu, but she's a 5-star Xingqiu. And with her, she provides the mobility with her skill. And I think this character is an amazing character. And if you're gonna pull for her, I think you're definitely gonna enjoy this character because I still to this day enjoy this character in Spiral Abyss and also the Imaginarium Theater. And yeah, so there's that. All right, so now Nilu. Nilu came out in the well, she's from Sumeru, and her kit revolves around the bloom damage, hyper bloom. But she has her own bloom where it's she does all the burst of her own bloom, and for that you don't really need an electro unit because hyper bloom you do need an electro unit. You need 3 elements: Dendro, Hydro, and Electro. But with Nilu, you don't need an Electro, so you just need Hydro and also Dendro. And her pairing with Nahida, amazing. And also with a nice healer like Kokomi, freaking amazing. But I don't have her because I felt like her kit was too restricted for me. I felt like, okay, they're catering to people who are really into the bloom reaction. And for me, I was just like, ugh, the character design is amazing. I think she's a very, very pretty character. But for me, the kit being very restricted to the bloom damage, I just did not care for that. Neuvillette. All right. So Neuvillette, when he came out with the Fontaine, I believe like the first trailer, I right away I thought this character looked so majestic. And I believe I did my first video of YouTube, like my channel for this channel. Um, it was Neuvillette. I believe that was the first video, and I remember being really, really like engrossed with this character. I was just like, oh my god, this character is really, really nice. He looks nice, and with the Hydro Pump, Pokemon reference, with his skill, I was like, whoa, this is like a really, really nice character. But then when he came out, I don't know. For me, I just got deflated. I was just like, oh, skill is nice with the hydro gun. But I felt like, for me, I just felt like it was too gimmicky. I don't know. So the guy has the status. He looks amazing. His kit did not speak to me. So that's the reason why I skipped him. And even though I have Fiorina at C6, and she'll pair really well with Neuvillette because Neuvillette can heal himself, and also he does a ton of damage. But for me, I have something against characters that are solely DPS. For me, you can't really do much with characters like that. That was one of the reasons why I did not summon for this character, but it is what it is. But yeah, Neuvillette, if you like the kit and if you need a Hydro DPS, the character is amazing. But other than that, for me, not so much. Fiorina, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but like I said, I'm going to do a separate comparison with her and Columbina because they both share the same title as the whole so-called Archon. And so yeah, Fiorina, one of the best characters out there. That's just my opinion. But this character provides a universal buff, meaning she's not restricted to like an attack buff like Bennett's Burst, or I would say like HP buff like Yelan's C4, or any other character that provides the buff. Her buff is very universal. She buffs the damage. So that means she can work with any team. And mind you, she's a Hydro unit, so she is very versatile. She pretty much goes with any reaction. And on top of that, she also heals and she provides unlimited full uptime Hydra application through her skill. The only downside for this character is that her skill drains your party's health, especially in the Uja stand, the attack stand. But her Numa stand, her healing stand, provides the heal, but it's kind of useless in a sense because it doesn't really do anything aside from healing. but you kind of need that in order for you to keep the buff going, because you do need the HP of your character, the team's health needs to go up and down for you to provide that buff from her burst. So because of that, you do need a healer if you don't have her at C6. But once you have her at C6, it's a whole different ball game. So, all right, I don't want to go into deep because I feel like I want to go into like a whole like Furina thing. So, Sidwin, I'm not gonna lie, I know her to be a healer, and I know she provides this really cute gameplay kit. But for me, she is irrelevant. Even though she's a Hydra unit, she's a 5-star unit, but for me, it's just not it. I like her gun, and I like that she bubbles your enemies, so that's cute. But like I said, if you have Kokomi, Sijuin is kind of like whatever. Uh, Mulani, a third Hydra DPS. So Tartaglia, Nuvolet, and now Mulani. And Mulani works really well with the Vaporized team, just like Tartaglia. I don't know too much about this character, but for me, Natlin characters kind of came off very goofy to me. I'm sorry, they did, and that includes Mulani with her shark surf thing, and I just I think Natlin really did like throw me. Well, it threw me off a little with the whole character design and also the kid. Listen, I love Mawiko, but the motorcycle and everything is just kind of weird. It's fun, but also very weird when it comes to Genshin like aesthetic. But for me, that's the reason why I did not pull for this character. The character looks cute, but hey. And I know she's a really good DPS because I've seen the damage, I've seen the numbers, and if you put her in the right team, this character is amazing. But other than that, yeah. Even though it's a small, it's how many characters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 5-stars. And I'm also going to include Xingqiu here. Xingqiu, free 4-star. Once you get his constellations, this character does it all. And I would say Yelan is amazing, but if you have Xingqiu, and if you don't really care for Yelan, there's no reason to pull for her, even though she's a 5-star Hydra unit and also provides the mobility. If you don't care for the mobility, Xingqiu is the guy. And still to this day, national team, Xingqiu, Bennett, and Sheng Ling, they're amazing. And Xingqiu does the whole reaction. He provides that reaction. And this guy also provides the off-field not dendro, Hydra application. And yeah, I can't really say much about this character. This character cemented himself in this game, just like the other two 4-star in the national team. But yeah, so it's I don't know, like I think the only character that's gonna really kind of like I think that's the reason why I want to do a separate video for this. Furina and Columbina, but Columbina being in this pool of Hydra units, I think it's gonna be really interesting. If we take Furina out, I think she's gonna bring something really, really great. But with Furina, Furina already does a lot, so there is a competition there. So the expectation for the next Hydra Archon is high because of Furina. So yeah, yeah. I just want to do a quick Hydro unit inventory of all the 5-stars, and yeah, that's what we have. And I'm really, really excited for Furina, not Furina, Columbina. And after seeing all the cutscenes, I'm pretty much sold on this character. I don't know if I'm gonna pull for her C6 because I don't have enough Primo Gems, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. But yeah. Alright, I'm Ace, so I'll end my video here. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you watched the video till this very end, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.